Welcome back to the Soul Food Podcast. I'm Michael Vikelik.
And I'm Shannon Meyer. Together we share insights and conversations to help you cultivate joy, peace, and prosperity while unlocking your limitless potential.
Yes, get ready for a transformative journey filled with laughter, strategies, and lively discussions that will inspire you to thrive in every area of your life.
Hello, Michael.
I didn't know you were recording all these. Come on. You're actually recording me? Wow.
Without telling you. Just like that. Thank God. Here we are.
You better be careful what I say.
Yes. But since you talk from the heart, you will never say something wrong.
No, I know. I don't worry about that at all. But and you know I'm kidding. Of course,
Yeah,
I know. Recording. Okay.
I know. Maybe the other ones don't know, but yes, I know.
So we're recording a little bit early this week because Jeanette is so busy. And so it's good. It all fits the schedule. It's all going to work perfectly. And I know that. How are you, Jeanette? How are you today? How's everything?
I'm very happy to be here with you always. Life changes when I'm in this space with you.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you.
How are you?
Great to be here. It is.
And how are you?
How am I?
Yes.
Oh, the usual. No, I'm great. I'm great. I really am. Things are really changing for the better. I mean, it gets better and better every day. It gets better and better every day. And I would advise everyone listening to keep saying that.
No, and I see when I see around what's happening, I mean, with friends of mine and me and everyone, I think things happen to us for us because it's time to align ourselves to who we are.
Yes.
So there are certain things that in life we're doing that doesn't belong there anymore, or people we are seeing that don't belong there anymore. So it's really for us to take the responsibility to be who we are. And that's what I'm seeing around now. To really be who we are, to value ourselves, to respect ourselves, to love ourselves, and to be in wholeness.
Absolutely. 100% agree. And, the universe is actually pushing us along.
Yes.
I mean, I did a little reading up on the supermoon that just happened a couple of days ago, right? And it was an Aries supermoon, and it's all about letting go of what does not serve you any longer. And so it's important that we look at life with the perspective that it's always working in your favor. Okay.
Yes.
If we don't, feel so great one day, something's happening, it's perfect to show us exactly where we need to evolve. There's wisdom there always to move away from whatever is causing us pain or suffering or hurt or just triggering us.
Yes, and
So,
it aligns to what we have been talking in other episodes about the controlling your mind, because when you are in those places, when you are negative, because you feel it, why is this happening to me? It's really to control your mind and say, okay, it's happening for me. I'm thankful, and let me see why this is happening. What do I have to see that I haven't seen?
Absolutely. And one of my very earliest trainings, this was to let go of some of the generational patterning that I had. Whew, man. But yeah, I had a pattern, and so did many, many, many people. And we look at life like we are victims of what's happening.
Yeah.
And as you said, when you can change your perspective and look at it as it's for your own growth, we never are a victim. It's we have to look at it through more of a divine perception, a divine um, idea of what life is. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's all about our growth. So victimhood can
Yeah.
really keep us stuck
Yeah.
in a miserable place. I mean, and I had a lot of that victim thinking. I
Mm-hmm.
really did. So many different things would happen. And I'm like, oh, this is happening to me. And why is this happening to me? And it took a while to look at it differently, to see it differently, and start processing what's happening with regard to what I'm thinking. What was I thinking? What's my pattern of thought? What's my generational? What was passed down to me? Why do I think this way?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the wisdom in this?
Mm-hmm.
And as I think we were talking in the last session, what can I celebrate in this moment? Just look at it. What is it? What is it I'm learning right here? What's the blessing in this instead of becoming a victim, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And I read in many books and I know and I see it now with the people that in reality we are programmed to be victims, to be
Yes.
victims so that we
Yes.
rely on the outside. Since we are
Yeah.
victims, we search for the guru outside, we search for the policeman, we search for, I don't know, so many things, everything outside. We follow the steps of people that are not us, of other ones, because we believe since we are victims of what's happening, we believe we cannot handle it. We cannot um, correct it. We cannot control it. So we go to someone else for this person to support us in the change, when in reality the change comes from us, from within.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So and that's we're never taught that we're
No.
not taught to see ourselves that way, because that actually puts us fully in control. that
Mm-hmm.
puts us that puts us in a place of power over the world. And I mean, even I've studied quantum physics,
Yeah.
so or quantum mechanics. You can call it either one. There's slight differences, but anyway, um, it puts you squarely um, in the wisdom of you're in control of what's happening. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
how you perceive it, it's how you see it, it's how you think day to day that gets you into these situations. That
Yes.
I mean, if you look at the world, even if you're not spiritual, which I am, and I know you are, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm very tuned into that. I mean, I have as my connection has grown with, you can call it the divine, you can call it God, my angels, my guides, just absolutely beautiful wisdom. And they help me along this path, that I kind of gently get steered
Mm-hmm.
in one direction versus another. I mean, but I know inside I can feel what's right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Inside you can always feel that. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's just beautiful. I mean, it's a way to navigate life that I was never taught. I was never taught to
Mm-hmm.
do. So
Yes. Me neither. It's, for me, it's this intuition, no, and the knowing, um, observation, what I'm doing and how I'm doing, and this, yeah, the intuition is the one that guides me,
oh
and
yes.
no, and it's the knowing, no, that you're doing something well, or if I'm really living from the heart, or I'm living in the mind in every moment. There's
Hmm.
this perception, this change in everything,
And,
and it's so
and
beautiful.
it is absolutely, and to live from the heart is beautiful. But also, I mean, yes, it's. I want everyone to know that it's okay to use your mind.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yes.
you have to learn to direct your thoughts, direct, your focus. In other words, know when things are coming up, thoughts are coming up in your mind, patterns are coming up that aren't serving you.
Yeah.
Okay, and learn to understand, because um, we are directing energy all the time.
Yeah.
So and over time, these things can get pretty bad. I mean, there was a time in my life where I thought, wow, I mean, am I going to make it? I
Yeah,
mean,
incredible.
because these patterns kept coming and I kept trying to shift away and they just kept coming. Okay. So it really took a lot of strength to overcome that old way of thinking, the old way of seeing and perceiving the world,
Okay.
other people. I mean, especially, um, well, there's so many different things that can happen. I mean, you could be driving your car and
Mm-hmm.
somebody isn't real nice. Okay.
Yeah.
This can trigger you. There's so
Yes.
many different things, right? You could,
Yes.
I'm in the grocery store and I'm pulling up to get in line and somebody will shoot right in front of me. It's like, you
Yes.
just, you need to just let them be. Let
Yeah.
them be, you know. Yeah, but I'm not saying to be weak.
No, no, no.
Kindness is not weakness.
No.
Okay, so there's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
there's a difference there.
It's a
There's a
total,
difference.
it's totally different because one is observing and being compassionate and understanding that this person might have a day and maybe this also knowing this person is walking their shoes and that's why they do what they do, all those things in 1 second.
Yes.
But
Who
it's
knows
not,
what's happening to
yeah,
that person
yeah.
that day, right?
And it's not being weak and retrieving yourself because you're not retrieving yourself. You're standing grounded there in your
Yes.
wholeness and you let
Yes.
things happen, those kinds of things, for you not to get involved in them because it's not going to take you anywhere.
So there's a lot of wisdom in your words as as you go through each day. I mean, there are all kinds of experiences as
Mhm.
you move away from your old patterning, your old ideas and concepts, your old belief system, which can be pretty strong. Okay,
Yeah.
people can be very encased, that's very integrated into their life. As you start moving away, it's those situations will still keep coming up,
Hmm.
and you're thinking, well, why is this still coming? So again, we get a chance to go back into victim. So you can bounce back and forth
Yes, 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 yes.
for a
I,
long time.
there's an example here for people to know. For instance, in well, one thing in the car, I still get triggered. I still have to learn, but I
Yes,
observe.
automobile is the big one. Yes.
Yeah, and one thing I always say, it's a sweet name to someone, sweet, really sweet a name to someone when they do something, no? And I say, oh, I don't know, sweet Caroline. I don't know. I say corazón de melón. It's melon heart. Okay, corazón de melón. Okay, you pass, you know?
Yeah,
So
good.
to be softer and not say any words or nothing, just for me to go down into that. But
Right. Beautiful.
in an example also, in that case, it's really observation, and it's funny because for me, because I'm queuing every morning to get into the gym, 6 in the morning, okay,
Right.
to go swimming. There's a
Right.
there's a long queue to go in. And when you
Okay.
go in into the gym, it opens up in three queues. There are three machines to go in. And there's always, I see her, a lady that has been all this month, has been going up in front, passing the line, because one of the machines is different. It's face recognition. And she says, oh, she always says the same, oh, there's no one. And then she goes there, you know? But it's not
Uh-huh.
that there's no one, it's that in the queue you divide, and then the ones that are next to the machines, ones go to the face, and the other ones with the fingerprint and all those things.
Okay.
But I've been
Okay.
seeing this every morning. And last week, someone got caught of that and ran after the lady and was saying, what are you doing? Why are you passing all of us? No? What are you doing? We are here queuing and you are going up front. No? And it was interesting to see that I could have reacted like that many times, no? As maybe I would have done some time ago. And it's
Right.
also sad because I've seen her every day. She does the same thing. Go to her and say, "Look, I'm seeing you. Don't do this, no, because we are cute." But when I let her go, I said, "Well, it doesn't matter. The gym is there. The swimming pool is there. It doesn't matter, no." So I was in observation that part. But then you saw other ones being triggered by that, no? So you
Oh
have
yeah.
all this. Well, you can act, respond to
Well,
it differently.
I do believe that it's okay to say something to
Yeah.
someone, but it's where you come from. It's the
Mm-hmm.
energy you use. So it's because we can all find ourselves in a position where, you know, if you react right away, you're the victim. Now
Mm-hmm.
you're
Yeah.
a victim.
True.
Okay. So
True.
you're the victim of this lady cutting in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I had a similar situation. I mean, uh, in the car.
Mm-hmm. The car
I don't
is
know
the
what it
trigger
is with the
point.
car. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm sitting in line at Costco, right? And
Uh-huh.
Costco is a warehouse here in
Yes.
the States where you can buy a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
at a very less price, okay? And I kind of stock up there. I go there once in a while. And you can also buy gas for your, you know, fuel for your automobile. So it was a very busy day.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's in line with their cars, and you've got lines at each pump,
Mm-hmm.
right? Side by side, there were like four pumps. So there's
Yeah.
8 lines here of cars. And someone pulls out from one of the very first pumps that are way out in front. Then this lady jumps out from another line and
Mm.
pulls up all the way in front of everybody. And
Yeah.
she starts pumping her gas. So when I when I get upset about it, I become a victim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I can stay in a beautiful place and
I love that. Yeah.
say something to her,
Mm-hmm.
or not, it's your decision. Can you be in a beautiful place and you know suggest that
Mm-hmm.
she be courteous to everyone else who's waiting in line? Um, you know, I mean, it's where you come from. It's the
Yes.
energy.
Very
If
nice.
you can do it without reaction, you're not the victim. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you react and go at it from that place, yes, you're a victim. You become a victim. And when you react to something, you know that kind of hooks it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hooks
Mm-hmm.
it into your life. You're going to experience that over again
Yes.
because it's something you react to. This
Yes.
it's Life is so amazing when
Yes.
this makes sense. I mean, I had the same thing. I'm sitting there. I'd really rather be doing something else. I want to fill my car up, and here goes this lady, right?
True,
And
true.
my initial reaction was to get a little irritated. And I'm like, wait a minute, now you're being a victim.
That's really beautiful. I love that. I love that what you're saying. It's not that you're triggered. It's not. I love it that it really you're changing your space. You're going into victimhood, and that's
Yes,
something big because going into
it is.
victimhood, it's you're not whole anymore. You're letting s- some energy, you're letting
An
something in you,
external,
something
external
external
something.
from
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
go into you and
Yes.
move you,
Yes.
and then say because you're a victim, how you are being aggressive, or you're saying, why are you doing that, because you are hurting me, that I am cueing and you're not cueing. Yes, victimhood.
It is. It is absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think we come back to this one central point that nothing outside of you
Mm-hmm.
can control you.
No.
It really, and this is one of the things I say. Life is the experience to master your power. So
Yes.
I don't mean like, oh, I'm so powerful, my ego is so strong, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, no, nothing like that.
Mm-mm.
It's
No, no.
to master your strength and your power, to me, means to be more aligned with love and beauty and divine influence, divine
Yes.
intelligence to be more aligned with God. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
seriously,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's where your power is because
Yes.
every time that we react, every time we have anger or even sadness, or they're one and the same. They're just the mind is flipping from being upset about something or resentful about something to sad about something. It's the mind again, but when we let something outside of us control us, we lose our power. We
Yeah.
lose our power. Victimhood, we lose our power
Yes.
completely.
Yes.
So when we can stay in a beautiful place and unconditional love,
Mm-hmm.
when we can see everything with unconditional love, we can see the people, you know, whatever they're doing, see them with unconditional love. We may suggest something to them, but being in a great place is the key. And even a lot of the teachers, a lot of the well, we're actually learning from other people, which is good, but
Mm-hmm.
we do have the wisdom inside of us. So whatever comes from inside, when we're connected with our divine, amazing, we can call it higher self, you can call it, whatever you wish, your soul, we've talked about so many different things. When we can stay connected and the answer comes from there, we stay in our power.
Yes. Yes.
So I really believe that. And it's so peaceful. And that energy, encompassing that energy in my being has healed me,
Mm-hmm.
has
Mm-hmm.
healed uh I mean it's healing a lot of my aches, my pains, the different things that have come up over the years. I mean, it heals me on a cellular level.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing. It's just amazing. So
Yes, it's this what I say, this limitless potential that we have
yeah,
within this universe we have within, because it's so powerful, so big, so limitless, that it's really, and it's this peace and this unconditional love that, yes, it goes into each of our cells and then
yes,
heals
yes.
anything. It heals.
Well, when we have that peace, and I know I've talked about the chemistry that's created through the mind, right? It's you know, the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland are involved. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, we create neuropeptides and neural hormones with our emotions. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
a specific emotional state creates neuropeptides and neural hormones, and they bombard every cell in the body. So
Yeah.
when you are in a state of real peace
Mm-hmm.
and love and joy and excitement and vibrant energy, you're healing, you're sending amazing chemistry on a
Yes.
cellular level to your whole body. You're
Mm-hmm.
stimulating yourself. Every cell has its own consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
We are amazing beings. So when you reach that place, you're healing your body. You're healing yourself. I mean, I don't personally, I've had struggle past in the past. I have a whole family with generational patterns of unhealthiness, okay? Cancer and heart attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe I'm healing that.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it. I believe it because I've dealt with it. I had a big patch
Uh-huh.
side of my face where a mole was changing
Uh-huh.
to a big spot of cancer.
Yeah.
And all I did was go with it. I mean, I went to a big meeting once. Okay, here comes another story.
Yeah.
Um,
They're
I
always
went to a
welcome. I love
meeting.
that.
It was a beautiful meeting of like souls, okay?
Yeah.
A spiritual gathering, okay? And there was probably 15 people there, and we were all learning about how we could tap into our intuition. We were learning how to really use our own um, ability to
Mm-hmm.
tap into wisdom, okay?
Yeah.
And there was a doctor there,
Mm-hmm.
and she saw that patch on over that mole. What started as a mole, but now is a big patch here,
Uh-huh.
and you can see it in some of my older videos. There's a big patch. Well, She was like, "You need to get that looked at. That's terrible. It's and I knew what it was. I knew it was a melanoma.
Mm-hmm.
It had sprung from there. Okay. So I went within and I started seeking answers. And I always knew I could heal this. I knew I could heal it. Okay. So belief
Mm-hmm.
was the big piece. Getting the mind engaged, another, getting the heart engaged, and really understanding how amazing you are.
Yeah.
I focused on that and I said, okay, and if there's something I need to know here, or if there's something who can help me, because I would focus the white light. I do this in
Mm-hmm.
my meditations.
Mm-hmm.
I
I can
bring
see.
light in from the
Mm-hmm.
through my crown
Mm-hmm.
chakra into my body as I'm really at peace, and it's healing me. So I would concentrate the divine white light here, okay, and it wasn't growing. It felt like it was drying up. Okay.
Uh-huh.
But then I was also told intuitively, get this one product, which I bought. It was actually a doTERRA oil.
Uh-huh.
I was putting that on there and I kept focusing, putting it on there, kept focusing.
And
It
you don't have anything. I can see
fell off.
it.
It fell off. It's gone.
Wow.
And the doctors wanted to do surgery. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, 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 no,
Mm-mm.
no. So everything that I mean, God put exactly what we need on this earth. It's here already for us to get wrapped up in a lot of these. I'm not telling people, you know what, if you need to see a doctor, if you
Yeah, yeah,
need
it's up to
then
everyone.
please
Yeah, it's
do.
not, yeah.
Okay. If you want that, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm just relaying my story
Mm-hmm.
of how beautiful this was.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It fell off my face. I mean, the whole thing just came off.
It's, it's, it's
It was a
beautiful.
natural oil and my own energy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And stories like that, there are many, no?
oh yes,
That
so many.
really, really, when people believe, no, again, and it's the belief, believe
Hmm.
in themselves, believe in the power we have, and the belief that yeah, well, the belief of the power we have specifically, no, that we are capable of so many things that we were told we are not, but
Yeah.
we are.
Even if you weren't told, it's implied, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's implied that I truly believe that, you know, unconditional love is what God energy is, or
Yes,
what
that's right.
God is, right? It's unconditional love. You are being showered every day with beautiful love and support and and uplifting energy. Okay,
Yeah.
every day. When we accept that, it changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
It really
Yes.
does.
Yes, and one thing to highlight is that unconditional love is not the love, the superficial love. It's not the
Right.
relationship love. It's really you have to experience it. You have to feel it, and meditation helps a lot with that many times.
Yes.
And it's really it's this it's this well, like you were saying, uplifting energy because it's this limitless energy is this thing that you
Yes.
cannot even explain because it encompasses everything. It's the universe, it's you, it's me, it's every one of the listeners. When we tap into that, it's
Yes.
something that it's so it goes beyond anything that we can even think with the mind.
So when you meditate, and I like to do this, I like to do it at least once a day.
Mm-hmm.
But when you meditate, have you ever sent or just radiated this unconditional love out to people,
Mm-hmm.
and then certain people pop into your mind, and you just keep radiating this love
Yes,
out there? How amazing is that? I mean, what a feeling. It's
yes,
amazing. And the
it's
first time I ever felt the real power of that was the story I told when my mom came. That
mm-hmm.
it just engulfs
Yeah,
your whole body, and it wasn't generated from me.
no, no,
It was divine love. It was like, wow,
yes, yes,
and and I knew it was my mom. You could
mm-hmm.
feel it. but it was like so intense and so beautiful. It
Yes.
wasn't clouded by a bunch of ideas and concepts and
No,
limits. It wasn't limited at all.
no,
It's
no.
like, wow,
Everything,
wow, that was amazing. It was just
everything
amazing.
disappears. It's the same that when I felt when I was 17 that I fainted and I went.
Oh,
I felt this. I felt this love everywhere, and I was conscious
uh-huh.
because I said, this must be paradise. I remember saying that with my mind, and it was I was everywhere. It was everything. It was this beautiful light and this unconditional love. And it's the same that I feel now when I meditate or when I connect with you. When I'm in
Uh-huh.
co-creation, when I'm in being here open-hearted, I feel that
Uh-huh.
love. I
That,
feel that infinity. I feel that universe. I feel that now in this moment because I'm open hearted and I
oh,
know
that's
we
great.
have the potential. I know we have this force, this power of being.
Absolutely. It's so amazingly beautiful.
Yes.
It really is. And you touched on the word, or we've been talking about unconditional love, and then there's conditional love, which is it's
Limited.
of course, right. It's all the mind's idea of what
Yeah.
love should be, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we get into relationships, we have this idea that love needs to look this way and needs to do this for me, and this person needs to be this way, and relationships are so powerful because they can point out people think, oh, I was miserable in this relationship, but that relationship, that right there, that
Mm-hmm.
thing that's really triggering you, upsetting you, is something for you to see.
Yes.
That relationship is handing that to you. So,
Yes.
and many people, well, I'm just going to walk away, and
Mm-hmm.
but there's something beautiful in it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Absolutely. So,
Yes, because you said before here, you said we have the wisdom within and the
yes.
relationships are important, but we have the wisdom within. And for me to highlight what we're saying now, relationships are key because of that. Any relationship, not love, well, friends, work, any relationship is showing you who you are. It's mirroring
Oh,
to you every day who you are. So it's
hmm.
really, if I go into in a cave and I meditate and I feel the unconditional love and all those things, perfect, yes. And I can heal myself, yes. But I'm not growing myself. I
Hmm.
can grow myself with what I know in the moment, no? But in what's around me, the cave and the finding food and all those things. But the relationships are the ones that show me who I am and make me react, triggered, or well, everything that in which I have to learn from that. I have to grow into that. I have to observe why it's happening to me, the way it's happening, why, how I'm responding, how I react. Relationships are so beautiful because of
They
that.
are.
They
They
grow
are.
us.
Yes. And I'm not saying that conditional love is bad by any means. I mean,
No,
it's
no.
something beautiful to learn through. Absolutely.
Mm.
But when we, I mean, how strong are you? This just popped into my head.
Mhm.
How strong are you when you can look at someone
Mhm.
who's treating you poorly, or they're all upset, or they're really somebody, oh, you don't want to, I mean, it's really a bad situation when you can see that person with unconditional love. Now, does that make you strong, or is it better to react, or just I can't stand this person, which place are you stronger? I believe
Mhm.
your real strength is remaining in a place of unconditional love for whatever shows up, okay?
Yes.
Because sometimes people are what they are. I see less and less people that are upset, okay? And as we evolve, as we grow, as we learn, as we get past our triggers, and we learn more about ourselves, things really start to calm down. I understand. But when you see people that are really upset, can you stay in a place of unconditional love? Or
Yes.
maybe they're, slamming you with something,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
or, you just happen to be in some situation where somebody shows up and they're upset. Can you stay in a place of unconditional love? Because there's where your strength is. That's
Yes.
that that's where you stay in your power. So
Yes. You stay in your power. Yes. And it takes a lot of effort. But that's the beauty. That's the beauty because then you're showing them. It's not that you're showing that you don't have to show anyone anything. I mean, it's when you really positively impact in them with your being, and that's it.
yes, yes. Well, you're giving them the chance. I mean, they'll really see themselves at
Mm-hmm.
some point, right? And they'll see
Yes.
how you remained in this beautiful place, and this energy coming at you just drops at your feet,
Mm-hmm.
and you're staying in this unconditional love, and you may respond in one way or another, but you don't trigger, you don't get
Mm-hmm.
upset. It doesn't turn into an argument. It's
Yes.
it's a beautiful thing.
Yes, a
Beautiful.
very beautiful thing. Very
Yeah.
beautiful and takes a lot of strength and effort, but it's really very strong, like you were
Yes.
saying, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. So um there's so much wisdom when we talk about love. There really is. And I could get into a whole nother subject um about for the longest time I had this idea of what it would take to bring love into my life. And again, we're taught
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of ideas,
Mm-hmm.
right? About what love is
Mm-hmm.
and how to bring love into your life. And I really believe that the person that comes into your life will, at their core, be will absolutely be like you. All right. So in other words, you can mirror each other, yes, but I believe at your core, who you are at your core is who you're attracting. Do you think
Mm-hmm. Mm,
who you
yes.
are right here at your core?
Yes. The
Who
light.
are you really at your core? Are you, and this involves the ego. This
Yes.
isn't totally, I mean, the more you step toward your divine self, that becomes more of your core. You're calming the ego and you're allowing more divine, beautiful love in, right? So you're coming into a different place, but you're attracting who you really are into your life.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
actually believe that. So if you're still in your ego, you know, whoever, I mean, everyone has an ego. We wouldn't
Yeah.
be on the earth if we didn't have an ego.
No.
Because it's part of us. I mean, it's how we navigate life. But okay, who you are on the inside is who you're attracting. I really believe that. So whether you're involved in your ego or your ego has ideas and patterns and feelings, at your core that are, you know, that's who you're attracting. Who you are at your core. So
So you're saying as, and I imagine that if I'm in my I say I don't have those beliefs anymore, and I say them, but I actually have them. So you're saying that I would attract someone that also has those beliefs for me to deal with that and learn from that?
well. Yes, you can have, I mean, this is all a process
Yes.
to evolve beyond your old ego. The ego is all your ideas, concepts, perceptions, your emotions, and your thoughts. I mean, this is
Mm-hmm.
all ego, right? The mind creates an ego personality,
Yes.
your
The identity.
identity.
Yes.
And you can change this identity anytime you want if you just change your thinking. But to evolve to a beautiful divine being, you're evolving more toward unconditional love.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And
Yes.
the ego's kind of falling away.
Mm-hmm.
Ego's always going to be there, but and it can still pop up with your old patterns or ideas or beliefs, but you understand now. Oh, yeah, yes, I remember that. Thank you for showing me that. I celebrate you. Great. Okay, terrific. I'm moving on now. So, it's a way to understand your ego. But yes, to bring the people that come into your life, I really believe at your core, you can have things that you learn back and forth mirror to each other in an ego state. Okay. Your ego is going to mirror these things back and forth that you're going to learn. But who you are at your core, that are
Okay.
you a soft, um, loving being, or are you, you know, forthright, gotta have it this way, things this way, and that's the way it is. I mean, you're going to attract
Yeah.
who you are at your core
Yeah.
to you. And yes, you're going to mirror back and forth to each other. And some people pick lives where, hey, we're just going to sit around and relax or watch TV all our life.
Yeah.
I mean, some
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah,
pick
yeah.
that kind of life, okay?
Yes.
Or they choose it. The soul may be wanting something more for them, but they choose to
To
just
stay there.
chill.
To stay
Yeah,
there.
they
Yeah.
choose to stay instead of face what they really want to face. I'm not going to say need, what they want. It's what
Yeah,
they
yeah.
really want, what their soul wants.
Mhm.
But if you continually ignore what your soul wants, I believe it will stop sooner or later. It'll stop.
Yes, we stop pushing and you
Yes,
just continue, and then that's it
right.
for another time to start over.
But and a whole nother story
Yeah.
pops into my head. Well, I was in the corporate world for a long time. Okay. I was in the corporate
Mm-hmm.
world for a real long time. And I could always feel something else was begging me to please go do something else. Okay.
Yes.
This is mundane and it's not you.
Mm-hmm. It's not you. Yeah.
This is this is how I evolved when I decided to change and when I decided to do something else and I really tapped into that voice
Mm-hmm.
that I believe my soul was calling me.
Mm-hmm.
I learned to, well, I'm very passionate, okay, about healing people, all right, because I came from a background where there was a lot of healing to be done. I didn't know it at the time. I thought this is all normal. Okay, this is the way it should be.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't see it at the
So
beginning. Yeah.
people who have been mistreated or abused or overlooked, alienated, I mean, just, you know, it's something I've always loved being a teacher, and that's who I work with. Those
Mm-hmm.
people, because I believe that it's my real calling because this is where I evolved from. Okay. So now I can take all this wisdom, and it's been a long, long journey, and really help people who have gone through that and
Mm.
still struggle with it because it can come up at any time.
Yeah.
That all those patterns, all of those belief systems that are outdated and old, and you those people have been taught not to believe in themselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's really it's my passion. It's what I love to do.
I
So the
love that.
day I walked away from corporate America, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was
Mm-hmm.
great. It was a great experience. I did a lot of great things. All right. But I teaching was always my thing. I did it even in college. I mean, I used to mentor other people and they grasp it pretty easily. So I get a lot of enjoyment from that, a lot of fulfillment from that.
Yeah,
So
that's so beautiful.
um, I listen to the voice.
Mm-hmm.
Hope
Yes.
more people do. I
Yes.
hope more
I
people
think
do.
I think when we do, well, I think and we know from experience when we do, life changes a lot, and well, it's such a beautiful experience, such a
It
beautiful experience,
is.
and you can never imagine it with the mind because um, with your mind you're set with certain programs, beliefs, and also you are in a certain place. And how do you change all those things? But if you really listen to the intuition, to the voice, to what it is that you know it's true, and you act and respond upon that, life changes, doors opens, and it's amazing. It's magical.
Yes, you open doors to successful ventures,
Mm-hmm.
successful opportunities, successful experiences and people. I mean, just so many things show up when you decide to walk that path. I'm not going to say that it's all cake,
Mm-hmm.
but it's so rewarding. It
Yes.
is. It's so rewarding, and it changes everything. And like I said, when you feel that whole, when you feel that peace and that
Mm-hmm.
love, and your own power comes forth like
Yes.
that, um, and you know who you really are. I mean, you're creating your own life
Mm-hmm.
in beautiful ways, beautiful
Mm-hmm.
ways. So.
Yes. Yes. Wow.
So, you know what? Next week, I'd really like to talk on what we can, how we can bring more love into our life. What about
Mm-hmm.
that?
I
Would
love
you like
that.
to do that?
Yeah, yeah, yes, I love that. I'm a lover of love. For me, to live open-hearted, to be love is what we came to be. So yes,
That's
let's
why
talk
we're
about this.
here.
Yes, that's
That's
why
why
we're
we're here.
here.
We'll all get there someday, right?
Yes.
We'll all
And we
get there
are.
someday,
Yes,
one
we
way or
are.
another.
Mm.
Well, I want to thank you for taking this time with me. Thank you. And thank you to all the listeners. I'm so happy that you're here, and I hope it's rewarding for you. And I'm please leave your comments and questions. Send them out to us. I mean, Jeanette, what was our email for this? Do we have a
Our
specific
email is soulfoodpodcast@gmail.com.
soul food podcast at
Yes,
gmail.com?
yes.
Okay, good. Everyone can send their questions there, or they can leave comments, right? If you're watching this on YouTube or Spreaker, can you leave them on Spreaker too?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Sorry, too many questions.
It's weird. It's new for me. But
Well, you can always leave us an email. Yep.
always an email, and I think in comments we can allow comments. So I would love, and I will check so that it really happens. That the people are able.
Yes.
Also in YouTube. In YouTube, they
Yes.
can leave us comments and questions, and we are looking at them for sure and responding what we can. And
Absolutely.
also in other episodes, maybe talk about questions people have. That would be amazing also to make it
Oh yeah.
interactive. Mm.
Yes, absolutely. I believe, I'd love to hear their questions. I would
Yes, me
love to
too.
hear what are your questions about all this, right?
Yes,
So and let's address them. I mean, let's really support people. Absolutely.
yes,
So
that's why we're
okay,
here.
well, thank you. Thank
No,
you.
and thank
Wonderful.
you, Michael, also. The same. Love to be here with you. Love you. And thanks to everyone listening. Thank you so
Love you
much.
too. See you next week.
Yes.
Okay.
Looking forward.